Good morning, Gemini and Gemini placements. Welcome back to Sotero. Thank you for being here. In this morning's reading, we're going to talk about how you're transforming the story of you. I think that's a little fitting after having a new moon in Gemini. So I think the time is right. So, beneath the surface, in your subconscious energy, you've started to recognize the power of your own voice with the Queen of Swords, and you're also seeing things very clearly, right? So your head and eyes lift beyond the veil, and you're able to see what's going on without a lot of emotion. You're able to process intellectually now. And perhaps in the past, a lot of your interpretations, a lot of your insights, a lot of your ideas and beliefs were sort of mucked up with emotions, unprocessed emotions commingled in there. And so it diluted your message or made it appear volatile in some way. And now you're realizing the shift in yourself, and because you've created good boundaries, it's likely that you've been doing a lot of work around that part, creating good boundaries. And that's a lot of what the Queen of Cups talks about, right? To truly be the most nurturing queen in the deck, right? You have to hold space for yourself, so that, you can offer that nurturance to others. But in this case, because you've maybe integrated that, now you're also able to see clearly, and you know it. You know it. You know that there's more than what meets the eye. You know that there's subtext, and you're pretty spot on when you're thinking about it. Now, in the conscious energy, we have the Tower in reverse. And I'm using the Muse Tarot deck here. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all, but in this case, in the reversed position, there's a rock, and now hanging upside down, almost as if the hanged man is there, we have a figure, and there's lightning emanating from its head. And we see the rubble from the rock, right? So it's like you've created the storm. You have a piece in creating this tower moment, but it's really creating opportunity here, because also in this depiction, there's a figure that feels very fool-like to me, and it's jumping off of, in this reversed position, the rock. Now, when you view it right side up, it looks like that person is being thrown from this tower and is falling from the sky on its head. But in this case, in the reverse position, this tower has absolutely created an opportunity. And you also have the hanged man here, the hanged muse, similar position, reversed, upside down, asking you to see this moment differently. So if there's chaos around you, and if you've had a hand in orchestrating it or illuminating it, more likely with the Queen of Swords, like, fret not. This is happening absolutely for you. And it's going to present you with an opportunity. And, with Saturn having left Pisces recently, earlier this year, right? It's like, reflect on the lessons you learned over the past 2.5, 3 years, right? Where are the places that you were frustrated? Where are the places that you felt stuck, right? You're shaking yourself free, but it's also a caution not to fall back into old patterns. So in the opportunity position here, we have the Four of Cups, which, the Four of Cups feels a little despondent here. Like, And again, we talked a little bit about creating good emotional boundaries. Like, I think that's part of the message here. Don't get yourself ensnared in an emotional response. Wherever the conflict is in your life, if it's at work, in a relationship, try to really channel the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Swords rather, energy, and see things clearly. Um, and take sort of a neutral stance. Now, the Four of Cups can also indicate another try. So there might have been something that you've worked on a few times, right? You've done something 3 times, it's been a failure. There's the potential for you to have another go. There's the potential for you to have another go at that. And now there's like an emotional maturity about you that sees this so much differently, this opportunity so much differently. You're not being defined by this opportunity. It's an opportunity that you deserve and that you've earned, but it's not going to be your identity, which is why it feels a little, I don't know, withdrawn in a sense. Like it's not going to consume everything about you. And that's the challenge, right? The King of Swords is actually in your challenge position. So, there could be an Aquarius in your way. That could be something. I always see the King of Swords as an Aquarian card, so you might be dealing with an Aquarius. You might be dealing with themes around Aquarius, like technology. Or you might just be up against the, somebody whose voice is typically chosen, right? If we think about like patriarchal society, the King of Swords would be stronger than the Queen of Swords, right? By our silly standards. um, so it's like the challenge is for you to lead with your voice and to have the confidence and just deep knowing that what you say has merit, that only you can see things in your point of view. And it's, like you might get challenged, you might get, blowback for whatever it is that you're going to say, but you need to have the strength and the courage to speak up and speak clearly and to not fall for manipulation, because we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, in the outcome position, we have the Four of Wands. This is happily ever after. It could be marriage. It could be finding your tribe. It's building a foundation, or it's creating a foundation to build from. Okay, so it's positive. Like you're going to find your voice, but you really need to make sure that you are coming from a place of integrity as you do that. Because what you don't see coming, we have the Hermit, the Page of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so the Hermit could be a Taurus. You might be dealing with that's a Virgo. The Hermit is a Virgo, so you might be dealing with a Virgo, or where you could be dealing with Virgo themes wherever they may reside in your chart. Regardless, Virgo energy is going to avail itself and give you an opportunity to learn something new, something that you feel could lead you to mastery, right? The Nine of Pentacles is just before the Ten of Pentacles, the thing that you're here, right, to build legacy against. But there's some type of shadow associated to this, with the Five of Swords. So it feels a little test-like. With Virgo energy present, it also feels like perfection is a trap. The Page of Wands is a creative force, and right, to create, one needs to fail. And so just be careful about that. If something feels too good to be true and it's fulfilling you from a place of ego, ask yourself, right? Like, is that a check, I can actually cash? If that's a reference that people still use. If you're writing a check, is it something that you're actually going to be able to cash? If you're making a promise, if you're committing to a timeline, if you are saying you're going to show up for all the things when your schedule's already jammed up, like, is it something that you're actually going to be able to execute, or is somebody kind of forcing your hand? With this too good to be true offer, this Nine of Pentacles, this thing that's, it's going to be the best thing ever. It's going to showcase all the things, all your skills, everything, this is meant for you. This is a thing just for you, right? Try to be objective here and try to see it from another point of view. And try to see if it's an old pattern trying to ensnare you for one last run or if there's something else, because your advice is the Queen of Cups. We talked about her earlier, right? Having good boundaries, the kindest queen, right? Coming from a place of love and nurturance and looking out for her pack and all the things, right? Well, again, emphasis on having good boundaries, protecting herself, protecting her people. We have the Two of Wands, which is like the wish, right? Like manifesting. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, something with more reciprocity to it. Look for the opportunity that is we over me, because the sun is here and that just lights up wherever it sits in the reading. Gemini, if you've historically been pushing for an opportunity, a path, a partner, right, that checks all of your personal boxes, you're being asked in this moment, whatever tower is happening, whatever changes, whatever chaos is around you, look at that and see if you could find the path that best serves the collective you're involved in, that you care about. And try that on. So that's for you. I hope it helped. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.